questions. You're allowed to ask questions. We love people who ask questions. And a lot of people come with a notepad and they actually have their questions written down because you're nervous during an interview and you don't want to forget your questions. You can ask about how many people in the department, is there any training period, ongoing training, any mentorship programs, go-to persons in the department. You want to ask questions so you show you're interested. When we finish interviewing an employee, you say, no, I don't have any questions. We're not sure if the employee, future employee, is interested or not by the position. So prepare your questions ahead of time, okay? Even if you only have 2, okay? Very important. What are the job expectations too? Once I replaced a lady who was fired because she was really rude with people. So when I arrived in the department, I didn't know, I learned afterwards, everyone was like watching everything I was saying or doing. And I asked someone, I said, well, why is everyone watching? He said, because the lady was there before, she was very rude with people. And she says, everyone is like, well, the next project manager who comes better be nice. So it's important to know the history about the position. If it's new positions, new roles, good handshake. Okay, during the interview session, first thing people are going to do is your eyes. I know it's standard, it's basic, but you'd be surprised how many people look down. You look at people in their eyes and the handshake. You look at people in their eyes. 2 seconds. Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. Then you sit down. When people look down, the first impression is like, how are they going to do in front of doctors and nurses, in front of clients? So you look at people in the eyes. It's basic, and I'm sure a lot of people are repeating it, but I'm repeating it because I see it. Smart people, very smart, yet they look down. They're afraid to look at people in the eyes. Okay, so please practice. Okay, prepare your opening statement. So you're interested in the CRA position. Why is so? Well, because I like people and I like traveling. Well, a headhunter told me, well, you know what? You can take the subway in the morning. You're going to meet people and you're going to travel. So I said, that's not an answer. Prepare your opening statement. Okay? Practice in front of a mirror. What are you going to say? You know, it could be as simple as, I love the science. I don't see myself in academia. I know that research and development is very interesting. I read about a CRA position. There's a lady from the pharma who came to McGill explaining what it was. I went online, I read about it. I'm really interested about that type of position. It's more my thing than working in a lab. Always give it a positive. You can't say, I hated working in a lab. You know, just always give a positive thing, swing to your answer. It could be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be Einstein answer. But prepare your opening statement. Beware of non-verbal body language. I told you before, this thing on the side, like you're closing. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know, but give a positive spin to your answer. I've done it. I've showed it to you about the experience in allergy, right? It doesn't matter. You have a science background. You can get into any position. Don't be afraid because it's not your background in particular. Obviously, it's not the right time. The opportunity to move up in the company, you're not hired yet, so you can't talk about this. Again, people want to hire you, and they want you forever. It's unrealistic, but they want to have stable people, okay? Keep HR topics for HR, human resources. The perks, the bonuses, and all that. So you're not hired yet, okay? It's not time to talk about that. If you get an offer, you don't say yes right away. Never, 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 never. Proceed. Thank you very much. I am so happy. Let me have a look at it in the next 24 hours. I'll come back to you. And then you can go around, do your search and everything. There's a lady who came for an interview who basically said in her opening statement if this job doesn't pay at least $90,000, I'm not interested. So what do you think happened? The director stood up and said, and your name is? Okay, I'm happy that we met. And he escorted her to the door. So she ruined her opening statement. It's irrelevant. You want to get your foot in the door. Whether you're paid $60,000 or $70,000, it's irrelevant. After income tax, it's irrelevant. You know? Because you want to get your foot in the door. Once you're there, you work hard. Bonuses and salary raise, it comes naturally. I've never asked for a salary raise. When it was 2%, I got 4%. When it was 3%, I got 6%. When the bonus were 10, I got 20. When it was 15, I got 30. I never asked for a raise. Never. You work hard, it's going to come naturally. It's going to come naturally, believe me, because people invest so much in you, they want to keep you. They want to keep you happy. Okay. So, almost done. After the interview, very important to conclude with a positive statement. Prepare your ending statement. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm happy we had the opportunity to discuss this job a little bit further. I'm happy we talked about this. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm really looking forward to have another interview with you. You send a thank you note, express your interest in the job by email. You can ask for a business card. May I have your business card, please, so I can send you a thank you note. Don't expect an answer within a week, because sometimes you have many candidates. Sometimes there's no one. Sometimes we think it's going to take 3 months to find a good candidate. Person number 2 who comes, wow, we love her. We love him. We hire the person on the spot. It has happened, okay? And you continue to look for a job. It takes a long time, but don't give up. Really don't give up. The first 100 days, I have 10 minutes. What I'm going to tell you is that whether you're hired in the pharma, in a lawyer firm, the bank, the Ministry of Health, anywhere you're gonna go afterwards, it's the same. My husband is in the finance business, and we're discussing about this. He says, when you're telling the students, he says, it's common sense, but when you're young, if no one tells you, you don't know. But he says, in every environment, it's the same. The first 100 days, it's like President Obama, okay? You make it or you break it, okay? Of course you're new, everyone's gonna look at you, see how you behave, how you talk, what you do, how you dress, the whole, okay? But don't be intimidated, it's a fun environment, people are a lot of fun. Be positive about your job in the company. It's very important to remain very positive. Observe the group dynamics, okay? Observe how people talk to each other, who sits with who at lunchtime, how they talk, what happens during meetings, offline after the meetings. There's a meeting. Often you'll see no one talks, no one asks questions. Everyone is in agreement. And then the meeting ends, and then people start complaining, okay? So, and observe how people behave when the boss speaks. I'm telling you this because in every work environment, you'll have negative people and negative energy, the complainers who will bring you down. They'll do everything they can to tear the procedure. They don't like this is stupid, na. You don't want to surround yourself with these people. There will always be. And then you have the people who are extremely stressed. They're so stressed, they stress you. Okay? They're so stressed, yeah, their workload is the same as everyone, right? And then you have the people who seem to have it all. They're involved in this and this and this, and poof, everything is under control. Say, wow, how do they do that? Look at these people. You'll see in meetings, the silent leaders. You have people in meetings, they talk, yak. No one listens to them. You have people who seem not to listen, like this, looking down, and suddenly, well, I have a suggestion. maybe we should do this and try it out for 6 months. And then everyone follows that person. So that's your silent leader. They don't talk a lot, but they're powerful. Okay, observe these people. When this boss speaks, bosses are usually they are admired people for their intellectual, managing skills, business skills. When this boss speaks and people are rolling their eyes, it means they don't respect the boss, and it's almost abnormal. Okay? You will always have people who will, it's not normal. The VPs and the medical doctors are there because they're very smart people. Observe, 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 observe what people say, how they dress, look at people, how they interact with each other. Introduce yourself to people. I've met more people in the parking lot and standing in line at a cafeteria or standing in front of the coffee machine than during my work days. Why is it important? I met a lot of vice presidents of other units and a lot of directors of other units and a lot of people in the company that I ended up working with. Going to finance is always nerve-wracking because you know they're always going to say no. Yet, I met a lot of people in finance. So when I went to finance, hey Elizabeth, how are you? It was easy, it was an icebreaker because I was outside in the parking lot. It's very important. The more people you know, the more networking you know, small talk, the easier it's going to be for you after that when you go and ask things around across the departments. Treat people the way you want to be treated. I didn't say that last year, but I'll tell you now. You can almost spot a PhD student walking in the hallway because most PhD students, unfortunately, walk like this, okay? And they have this, remain humble with your knowledge. You may be good in oncology, but you know what? You know Zippo in cardiovascular. You know Zippo in business skills about the pharma. Remain very humble because when you work in the pharma, the stars are people who have no direct reports. No one reports to you. But you need someone from every department to reach your goal. So if you're like this, I'm a PhD. Gonna be very hard, I'm telling you. Remain humble with your knowledge. You take it out in front of the doctors, but internally you need your people. You need your people at every level. Ask for help. You cannot know everything. It's almost the step going from high school to university. It's a big but going to university to the world to work. It's another big change. It's another big change. So ask for help. There's a lot of people who want to help you. And that's their goal. Once you're hired, they want to keep you. They want to have you and they want to train you. Okay? Make sure your boss looks good, no matter what, as well as your assistant. You don't have to be friends with anyone you work with. You don't have to be any friends, okay? You just have to be respectful, speak to them, to be in a business environment. It's important to get along well with your boss. Getting along doesn't mean you have to be friends, okay? Your boss is going to promote you. It's going to help you move lateral. It's going to write you a letter if you want to go to another job. It's important to keep a very, very good relationship with your boss. And again, it doesn't have to be, and anyway, most bosses don't want to be friends with their employees because it removes the hierarchy level between boss and employees. Okay, but I'm telling you this, your boss is very important. If he's presenting, he says, well, the adverse events for this drug are 67%. You don't, it's actually 67.3. It's irrelevant, okay? Your boss is your boss. He must look good all the time, no matter what. It's very, very, very important. At every level, any business place you're going to be working at, your boss looks good, has to look good all the time. And your assistant. The second most important person in the company is your assistant. Called clinical trial coordinator, secretary, administrative assistant, office manager, you want to name it. Because you need all your letters and checks signed Friday at 4 o'clock. She knows where to go and how to get it signed quickly. Your assistant can get you stuff in the company and approvals like you have no idea. These are what I would call the people that don't have the title but are extremely, extremely powerful. Never look down on your secretary. Bring her coffee, muffins, flowers, cookies. There's a lady in the company. There's always a lady in the company who can get you what you want. You have a shelf broken, it's not going to take 2 weeks. Next week it's going to be done. You need something, she's going to get it done. She knows where to go, how to get it, and it's short and sweet. Your assistant is very, very important. Take every moment you can to praise her work in front of everyone and in writing. It's the same with all your teammates. And under promise and over deliver. I'm sure you know this. And very important, this is my last slide. You need the collaboration of other people more than they need you. The stars are people that have no reports, are able to work with a lot of people in other departments and reach their results. And you will shine by making other people shine. You know that PhD, praise the work of the people that work with you, and it's bringing you a lot of rewards. I want you to thank everyone. We reached an important milestone today. We've recruited 150 patients from Dr. So-and-so and so, and I want to thank our CRAs, the lady in regulatory affairs, because we couldn't have done it without you. And you have no idea how powerful this is. In the pharma, you never speak I. I know in academia there's a lot I found this, I've done this, I. In the pharma, it's always we. Because no one works alone. No one works alone. You work with a lot of people all the time. So the we, it's another mentality, but what I've told you in the past 3 slides are tips that sometimes people, they don't know, they don't realize, and they lose their job because they're rude, they're arrogant, they don't praise the work of the people they work with them, they step on other people's heads, they put down other people so they can rise up. There's no need. You're smart, you already have your science background. When you have self-confidence, you don't need to put other people down. It's very important, and pharma, business, lawyer firm is the same. It's lessons, I call it lessons of life. And I wish someone would have told me this when I graduated. You finally learn, because my boss was 65 and he was so smart, and I observed everything that came out of his mouth, and I learned from him. Okay? So I'm just going to wrap up and say that same thing I said at the beginning, pharma pays really well, lots of fun, not routine at all, because you get to work on many disease areas, many different drugs, you get to meet a lot of people, a lot of fun people, sometimes difficult people, but all the good people, the nice people you work with, they compensate really for the people that are a little bit harder to work with. So I spoke a lot, so I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and thank you very much. It's been a great audience, very attentive.